Welcome back to the Pauline Chilton Show, the podcast where we talk all things real estate, entrepreneurship, and building a brand that stands out. Today's guest is making major waves in the real estate industry, not just in Michigan, but nationwide. I'm talking about none other than Brittany Racine, a top producing real estate professional known for her trending online marketing, record-breaking results, and nationwide recognition. Brittany's not only dominating markets like Ann Arbor, Metro Detroit, Traverse City, and across both coasts of Michigan, she's also become a trusted voice in real estate media as a featured host on the American Dream, Selling Michigan, an Emmy-nominated real estate and lifestyle TV show. Her marketing skills have landed her in publications like the Wall Street Times, Celeb Homes, CEO Weekly, and even a billboard in Times Square. Yes, really. Brittany runs her business alongside her mom and has built a powerhouse brand known for its personal touch, strategic marketing, and powerful social media presence. Whether she's helping clients buy, sell, or invest, Brittany is all about exposure, connection, and results. If you want to know what it takes to grow a brand in real estate, navigate competitive markets, and turn online visibility into real-world success, you're going to love this conversation. Let's welcome Brittany Racine to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to have a conversation.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. Brittany, you've built such a recognizable brand in real estate. From Times Square billboards to hosting the American Dream, what do you think has been the biggest driver of your success?
The biggest driver of my success has definitely been my kids. Obviously, I do everything just to build our future together. But it took a long time for me to get there and kind of figure out how to grow it on my own terms, on my own plan, instead of taking what everybody else is doing and trying to fit that mold. So I've really just been driving it the past 2 years based on how I feel I should drive it, even if it's based on things that have nothing to do with what regular real estate agents actually do. And it's really worked.
That's great. So you work with buyers, sellers, and investors across so many Michigan markets. How do you stay sharp and competitive in so many different areas at once?
I think a lot of it is the social media marketing. People see it, then you get referrals, even if it's in areas that you're not super familiar with. Just being honest that, I don't work in this area a lot. I will research it. I will figure out, what's going on up here. Like, especially if it's like we had one in Traverse City that we sold in October. We listed it in end of September, and we had an offer overnight, 1.65 million, full price. They never even saw it. Like literally overnight, and that's obviously a market that's 4 hours away from where I'm at. So definitely trying to dig in and just familiarize myself with that market. But across the state, there's not a ton of inventory. So it's really hard to even find comparables in areas that you do work in a lot because inventory's been so, it's been so low. So, I think it definitely just the experience of what we've done in the past and how it's worked out. I don't want to say it's luck because it's definitely strategy, but just familiarizing yourself with the market, with how other agents do things differently in other markets too, because a lot of the things that we're doing, they're not doing in a lot of other markets. So that's an easy way to stand out in a market that we're really not in a whole lot because we're doing things that are just next level compared to what a lot of other people are doing.
And you were telling me about that you and your mom are a team. And so tell us about working with your mom, what that dynamic is like, and how has it helped shape your business and your team?
So I really was actually resistant into getting into real estate because she's been in since 2006, which was when I graduated high school. So she got into real estate when I graduated high school. I went to college. And then, around 2013, I got pregnant with my son, and she was so busy that she was like, I really need an assistant. And I'm like, I don't have time to be working these crazy hours that you're doing. I don't want to work until 2 a.m. And then she's like, well, at the time, the economy was not great. There wasn't a ton of jobs. daycare was super expensive. She's like, I think it'll be pretty flexible with your hours. You can like learn it. If you don't like it, you can go back to, what you were doing. So I was like, fine, I'll get licensed. So I got licensed, and I really was doing kind of more like behind the scenes stuff. I would fill in for like open houses or showings and stuff here and there, but I wasn't doing a whole lot of like getting my hands dirty and researching a ton because I had a baby, and I was kind of just like her like backhand man for a while. And then now that my kids are in school full time, it's really freed up a lot of my time to be able to dive into it. So, and we are so different. Like at first I was like, I am not working with you. We will not get along. We will butt heads. She's calling me right now. We will butt heads because we're so different. But we've actually complemented each other so well because she's so type A and administrative and like she does all the things I hate doing, like the numbers and the recording and that type of stuff. And I'm like the creative, super energetic side of it. So I mean, it's taken a minute for us to really jive, but we actually complement each other really well now. And it's actually so convenient to have two of us because we are all over the place and we live about 25 minutes away from each other. So if there's one that's north, she's like, okay, you do this one and I'll do this one because she's south of me. And it also helps when, my kids have football games, like she can handle whatever we're doing work-wise while I'm at football, or like she was just out of town, taking care of my grandma in Florida. And so she's doing all the computer stuff while I'm running all over the state. So it actually works out really well, even though we both have like two totally opposite brains. We actually like are very compatible in a work relationship.
That's really great. And when you have a team, it works out really well when you have different strengths that you can put together. So what you said about she's one way and you're another way, and the way your brains think, that's really awesome. So you have a huge social media presence. What role has online branding played in helping you build trust and grow your business?
It's definitely brought us so much exposure. I mean, I've only been doing the social media marketing really like, I want to say about a year and a half. I was very resistant to doing it because I was like, I don't want to be that cringy, I sell everything girl online that people are just like, ugh, So I was really resistant to doing it. And then I was like, I'm just going to try it because like people forget that you're in real estate if they're not seeing that you're in real estate every day, or they're not seeing you every day in general. Like you need to be top of mind for people. So I started reading a lot of books. Like I'll do an audiobook because obviously as real estate agents, we're always in the car. I'm always running around, especially having kids. I'm like doing laundry in between writing contracts and I'm just running all over the place 24/7. So I do audiobooks pretty much every day. And I was like, all right, well, I should be learning something instead of just listening to some, stupid book that means nothing. So I started listening to books on branding and, social media marketing and like algorithms, which are like rocket science. So I started listening to those and just kind of trying out the different methods and the different things I was learning in those, regardless of how I felt, because I was very resistant. And I'm like, dude, life is getting more expensive. I can't just continue to make the same, like, even though we're doing well, like we got to be making more because everything else is going up. So I'm like, I'm just going to try it. So I started trying it and then it started working, which a lot of these things that I was doing, I feel like my mom was like, why are we doing that? Why are you doing that? Because she's so opposite of me. And even now with a lot of the stuff we do, she's like, I don't see the picture. I don't see the picture that she doesn't see the picture that I see. But it's gotten to the point where she's just like, whatever, like, you know what you're doing and I'll just show up for what you need me to show up for if we're doing a video or something together. But yeah, it's really blown up our exposure. And like I will go to events now and people will be like, are you the Brittany girl? Like I don't even know them because they're seeing my stuff even though I don't even know they're seeing it, because you can only see what people engage in. You can see how many people are seeing it, but you don't know where it's really going and who's actually paying attention to it. So it's been huge as far as just people seeing it and recognizing us, especially within this area. And now like I have people from different businesses from an hour away that are like owning, concrete companies or different contractors. And they're like, can you do promotions for us? And I'm like, that's not really what I do. But I mean, it's definitely, getting a lot of traction and has brought us a ton of exposure, which of course, then the next time somebody tells someone, I'm looking to sell my house, they're like, oh, use them because I see them all over the place. They're doing all these crazy videos and it's just really kind of snowballed into what it is now, which is just grown so quickly, really.
And so let's talk strategy. So many agents post just the post and nothing really happens. What's your strategy when it comes to creating content that actually connects with buyers and sellers?
It's got to be different every day. And I started sharing, like, people like to see not just real estate. So you as a brand, like, you're a real estate agent. That's your brand. But you're really your brand. So my brand is me as a real estate agent, it's me as a mom, it's me like goofing around on vacation, it's me with my Frenchies, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm all of those things, and I think that makes you really relatable to people, and they trust your brand more the more authentic you are in your life, instead of just saying, this is an amazing house, please come buy it. Do you want to buy a house today? Like constantly in your face, like sell, sell, sell. It's just like, this is who I am, this is what I do every day, and kind of just they like to see the dirty stuff. Like not like the dirty stuff, but like they like to see the everyday mess. Do you know what I'm saying? And like to see that it's authentic and it's not always polished. And obviously they like to see the $1 million homes and all those different tours, or showings and tours also. But they like to see the day-to-day things. They like to see you as a person. And I think when it comes to content, just mixing it up constantly. And it's hard to kind of know like what people really like. Obviously they'll like and engage in things, but there's been people that don't even necessarily like or engage in things, but they'll randomly send me a message and say, oh my gosh, I love that it's different every single day. So it's hard to tell, because I'm like, okay, well, can you like it so I know who likes what? But at the same time, it's more important the views actually than it is the engagement. It's where the video's going and where the piece of content is going and how many people it's reaching, even if they don't engage. Because if you think about it, I don't necessarily engage in everything that I notice or see either. So it's really just the reach and the views, and that's really what gets you the most traction and exposure.
Awesome. So you've been featured in some major publications and even on a billboard in Times Square. How has that kind of exposure changed your business or opened up new doors?
So the billboard I just had this past February, so it's still new, but I mean, it did cause a pretty big tidal wave, especially where I live, because nobody is doing New York City things. And that was something that my mom was like, I don't understand the vision of that. Like, we're not going to get clients that are walking around in Times Square that are like buying in, Detroit or Ann Arbor. But that's not the point. The point is it's like we're being recognized on this level, and it's more of just like a credential and credibility that like we know what we're doing, and we're doing things different than other people because we're getting recognized in bigger places, even if they're not necessarily local. So I think that's been huge, especially going up against competition and saying, we're doing all these extra things that nobody else around here is doing. But it's also showing our listings, at least, that, we're going to get the most eyes on your property because we have a bigger reach even outside of the state.
That's great. You're also a host on The American Dream, Selling Michigan. How did that opportunity come around, and how has it elevated your listings and your brand?
So that came to us. They actually came to us in July of 2024. It was just really about all the different social media posts and marketing and everything that we had been doing. And they came to us with the opportunity. And at first my mom was like, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, we're doing it. So we sat on a meeting with them. And I'm like, we might as well try it. And honestly, they're going to give us all this content that they're editing and, producing for us. So they're really doing so much of the time consuming work for us, but also putting us on a platform that other agents and other listings are not going to be able to compete with. So with that has brought us so much exposure, not even just because of the TV show. Like, even if you're not watching the TV show and you know that we're doing it, because I'm obviously posting it on my social media, people will refer other business owners and people to us that want to be featured on the show. So we go to a different town for every episode, and we're able to feature a business and a house within that community. So when we're going to, like, say we're going to Northville, business owners in Northville that want their business on the TV show will reach out to us, and that just opens a huge new network of people that we would have never been able to really get our foot in the door in. So there's been a lot of really big businesses that we've been able to kind of bypass any kind of gatekeeping to get in, because instead of saying, hi, I'm a real estate agent, I'd like to speak to whatever, they just wouldn't even answer you. It's like, hi, I'm actually a TV show host. I'm interested in promoting your business. It's like they immediately push you to the front, and then you like have their whole network. So that's been huge just as far as exposure and credibility also. But I mean, as far as listings, it's like, that's just one more way to really push your listing in front of a huge audience that a lot of people won't be able to pull.
That's amazing. Let's talk about your marketing for your clients. How do you tailor your marketing to meet each client's needs? What does that process look like? And tell us a little bit about the behind the scenes on that.
So every single house has different strengths, different weaknesses, different timelines, different financial goals, different outcomes that they're going to want. So I think it's hard when people bring their listing presentation and they're like, this is what I do. I do this for every single one, because they're all different. I think that we really look at every single house before we even really start the marketing process and say, okay, I think you need staging, or I think you need to fix this or move this or whatever it is. So we kind of do like a consultation beforehand to get their house prepared for us to be able to work with it. Some houses are ready right away and it's, picture ready day one. But a lot of them where it's like, okay, we need to move the furniture around to make the space look a little bit more open. I don't know, we could suggest tons of different things to really just make sure that their house is looking the absolute best that it can look. So we do that, and then we'll kind of come up with the real marketing strategy, which will be kind of like a teaser of a coming soon, staging if we need to, obviously professional photos and videos. I'll do social media ads with just a video that typically I'll make the video, just because when you have the professional photographer, it's like horizontal, the wide angle lens, and then that doesn't show well on social media, so you have to do it vertically. So a lot of times I'll do it on my phone and then kind of mix some of the photos in. But then for more of the luxury listings, we'll just have a professional videographer do all of it, and they can then do both sides. But we'll do that. A lot of times we'll do mailers within, a neighborhood. If it's a neighborhood that a lot of people want into, a lot of times we'll send a mailer to the neighborhood and let them know, hey, if you guys have family or friends that are looking at this area, this house is coming on the market, give me a call if you're interested ahead of time. There's so many different things that you can do, like outside the box, besides just posting a picture on social media or putting it on Zillow. Like I'll do teaser videos of me talking about the house. I'll do teaser videos of just, like 5 seconds of the house, like something that looks really cool with it. And then it kind of brings people out, and it even brings buyers out because you don't even know are looking, because they're like, wait, where is this house? And then you're like, hey, are you looking? And then you kind of rope them in.
So what advice would you give other real estate agents who want to stand out in a crowded market with branding or social media?
I think definitely don't do what everybody else is doing. Do what works for you and do it your way. I don't think that people should dress the same as somebody else that's being successful, or, do the same timeline of stuff that they do. I think that your marketing plan needs to be specific to who you are. I mean, I'm extra all the time. So me doing an extra video with crazy outfits and cars and all the fun stuff is like just who I am. But I mean, if you have like a quirky personality and you want to wear whatever you want to wear. I saw one today. It was actually in Florida. The guy was wearing high heels and a romper. And my friend sent it to me and he was like, I think he's trying to copy you. And I'm like, I kind of want to collab with him. He's got it on, right? Like he's doing him. And I think that that's, people can see the authenticity, and that's really what draws them to you. So I think it's being real to who you are and not following everybody else's plan, but doing it the way that you want to do it. And you got to do it every day. Like you can't just like drop it here and there. Everybody's over those like happy flag day. Like nobody wants that. So it's really just being, and even if you don't have a house to share, if you don't have a listing and you don't have a showing that you're going to be able to say that you're doing, then just video yourself doing whatever you do during the day. Work related, whether you're like I, half the time I'm in the car so much, I'm eating an Uncrustable in my car. Talk to the camera and say, guys, I'm super busy today. I'm eating an Uncrustable in my car. Just like that type of stuff to just stay in front of the audience.
That's great advice. That's so awesome. You're not only crushing it in real estate, but you're also a single mom raising 2 kids, which is a full-time job in itself. How do you juggle the demands of motherhood with running a high-performing business? And what have you learned about balance along the way?
Balance, I'm still trying to figure out, but it's definitely much easier now that my kids are older. They're 11 and 9, so they're in school full time. I do try to work my schedule around theirs, so I will usually try to knock out my day while they're at school. And then if I can, I'll take a break from working from, with the time they get off the bus. And if they have a sports practice, I'll drive to sports practice, and then maybe I'll go show a house and come back, pick them up. So I try to work it around them. But a lot of times if I can't, then I can have my boyfriend pick them up. I can have another mom from the football team, drop them off. It's flexible, but it's demanding. So it's kind of hard to balance sometimes, but somehow I get it all done.
You've accomplished so much. What's next for you? Any big goals, new projects, or dream collaborations on the horizon?
Yeah, so right now, obviously just building at the same rate that we have been. I feel like last year was very foundational for us. So I feel like we've really, really ramped up some good momentum. So just going forward still with that, and obviously building as much as we can with what we've been doing, the TV show, the publications. There's more things coming with that. So, I never know what opportunity is actually like behind the next door, but we'll say yes to it for the most part anyways, because I'm kind of the yes girl. It's like everything brings something else. So I'm down with all the opportunities. I am actually planning to start my own podcast, which I haven't yet really worked out all the kinks for. I've worked out barely any kinks yet, but that's probably going to come, I want to say, this summer. But it's not necessarily going to be just real estate focused. I think it'll be more just like everyday stuff. So like business, branding, mom stuff, like funny everyday things that people can relate to, trauma things, like just kind of all the different facets of life that really resonate with everybody, but also to use it as a marketing tool for local businesses. So if you want to, feature a business within your community that's also going to, put your face in front of their audience, because they're going to say, listen to this podcast that I was on. And then that's really just cross-networking with other businesses and other networks. So that's really on my horizon for my next project. But I also think that there'll be some other random things that come in here, like collaborations from other people. But I don't know, just really building on everything that we've built in the past year and just had the momentum on, just continue to snowball and build from there.
That sounds like so much fun. If you've loved today's episode and want to see how Brittany is shaking up the real estate game in real time, make sure to follow her on Instagram at Brittany Racine _. Her content is packed with market tips, behind the scenes looks at stunning listings, and powerful branding inspo. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just love beautiful real estate, her page is a must follow. Go check her out and tell her the Pauline Show sent you. What a fantastic conversation with Brittany Racine. From building a powerhouse brand to showing up on the Times Square billboard, she's proof that real estate can be bold, strategic, and a whole lot of fun. Brittany, do you have anything else that you would like to share with the audience before we go?
I'm excited to show everybody all the things that we have coming up. I feel like I'm a little bit of a vault right now because I don't want to give it all away. But I am also starting to maybe consider doing some mentoring or coaching for agents that are new or people that have just been in it and don't really know social media. So if somebody's interested in that, definitely reach out on Instagram and hopefully we can work something out.
If you're not already following her on Instagram, go hit that follow button at Brittany Racine _. You'll get inspired, educated, and maybe even get a sneak peek at your dream home. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Pauline Chilton Show. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, on your favorite podcast player, follow us on social media, visit thepaulineshow.com, support the show, grab some merch, and help us keep these amazing conversations coming. Thank you so much, Brittany, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.